Well, today is Saturday. I haven't really done anything in the garden today. It's almost dark. Sun's going down somewhere. I don't even see where it's at. I realized the last video we did, there was a few things, when we were talking about feeding and fertilizing plants, things that we've used or can use. And a few things I didn't talk about were like potash and wood ash, that sweetens the soil. I didn't really talk about gypsum, which can loosen up like hard, compacted and clay soils and stuff like that. Didn't really talk about Epsom salt or magnesium, which is something we use usually for like house plants and stuff like that. So I didn't talk about insect frass, and that's probably something we're going to do a series of videos on, just to like test, maybe do like cricket, superworm, mealworm, and then a control plant where everything starts with the same potting soil, everything starts with the little seedling plant that's exactly the same size. Do a test for a month or 2 months or whatever, do 1 or 2 or whatever videos on it, and then see how it goes. The last thing let's talk about a couple more things. One of the last things I'll talk about is the fact that we uploaded probably 3 videos over the last couple weeks that we forgot to put on public. So you might have been seeing like the raised garden bed. Where's episode 1? Here's episode 2 to 5 or whatever. Where's episode 1? And there was a wetland zone 1 episode. I don't remember which one it was that wasn't available to see because we forgot to publish it on public. And then there was I think a 3rd video. Don't even know what it was. And so they'll probably pop up, or have popped up probably this morning or last night. I can't remember when we flipped the switch on them. So yeah, that they're not going to play in the same order because they're going to show as being newly released, but that's fine. You can finally find that we didn't start out with episode 2 of the kind of the arborist wood chip raised bed thing. We started with episode 1, just didn't turn it on. And the last thing on this video is it's almost June, right? June is when you do your final fertilizing and feeding of your plants. June is like the rainy season here where you can plant your fruit trees other than like apples and pears and stuff, because the rainy season helps establish the root system. I've always done things like December, January, maybe a little bit later. But some people are saying now, do your plants other than the apple category in June here, like North Florida, Central Florida. I see our first passion flower for the season, Lady Margaret, I believe. Because it's kind of the last hoorah for the gardening, unless we were doing okra and a few, basil and a few other things, which we originally planned to do, but we do not have any beds ready for that. For the last few months, we've been like just rushing to get whatever we needed done, and obviously not everything we planned got done. Financial resources is an issue because I need to bring in probably some outside soil if I wanted to do that like immediately. Possibly can do some of that in our arborist wood chip thing, do some soybeans or some kind of legumes and maybe a few other things, but I'm not even sure that it's going to be ready to plant by the end of this month. It might be something we start late and just have to play catch up on and water and water and water anything we plant, you know, in the coming months in there. Just do not know if we're going to plant them in, you know, the avocados and the loquats and something else that we have planned there. But there's no reason not to plant legumes and other things in between all of these trees, because they're going to be small trees. They're not going to need all that root area, you know, for the first few years. So legumes and whatever else. I don't know if asparagus would be a good idea, but we'll see. But that's, for the most part, after June. By July, we'll be like pretty much done for the most part with our gardening for the season. And unless just something miraculous happens and we can, you know, get a couple of raised beds out there with okra and stuff. But I don't know. I don't see how that would happen, because we have a lot of expenses we have to get caught up on, and new expenses for our junior's new school he's hopefully going to. Cross fingers, pray. If you're a praying person, pray that he gets in and we can afford all of the attire and the school supply list stuff. When you do a private school, you don't get all of the supplies that a public school would, you know, give students. Of course, even a public school, you have a supply list, but some of these private schools, you got to provide copier paper so they can copy their own work and assignments, I guess, and Lysol wipes, facial wipes, paper towels. That is so strange to me. Yeah, my kids are hollering. They're supposed to be in bed, and they're screaming, so I got to figure out what's going on. Well, hope you enjoyed this video with pretty much no gardening stuff in it. Take care.